I've made some more progress on the Tron suit, so I figured I would make you guys another update. A lot of what I've been doing is figuring out the overall architecture of the suit, how the things are going to communicate with each other, what I need to use ports for, how many ports I have. The way it looks like it's going to work is I'm going to have one of these in each glove. This is a multi-Wii. It has basically an Arduino plus an accelerometer and a gyroscope in each hand. Each hand will have one LED on top of it and one color sensor in the palm. Then that runs back up through a serial port to the coprocessor. The coprocessor handles aggregating the two gloves and also the software audio FFT, like the audio processing stuff. And that then relays it back to the main CPU. The main CPU handles actually generating the effects, talking to the strips, and talking to the HUD. So these two CPUs really don't act on their own at all. They just relay data back and then respond to, or pass commands down to do very basic operations. So it shouldn't be too hard to get everything coordinated. Now the big update, or the big thing that I have working now, is that the glove is done. The software is done, it works, it communicates. I had to settle on a serial protocol. Right now I'm using, I believe it's called Cobb's framing, and then also the packets of data, the frames, are checked with CRC8, and that way it just is a way to make sure that, because there's so much data going back and forth, I have to make sure that nothing gets corrupted, otherwise you can have a lot of bad things happen. Now this color sensor, I went through about 3 different color sensors. Last year I used the color sensor, the TCS230, which worked acceptably well, but needed a lot of calibration. It might be because I had a Chinese knockoff. But it's a sensor that you just kind of control via your digital I/O ports. You have to count. It outputs pulses, and you count the number of pulses to figure out what color it is. Then I tried an analog sensor from SparkFun, which worked acceptably. Well, it wasn't sensitive enough, which made it not work acceptably for me, but it could definitely work for someone's project. Now this sensor uses a newer TCS sensor. It's on the I2C bus, kind of like the accelerometer and stuff, and it's very sensitive and it works amazing. So right now I just have it set up so that whatever this senses loops back through the coprocessor, comes back, and is displayed on the hand. And that's kind of what will happen in the final product. It'll just loop back all the way to the main CPU. So if I just, this is a little light effect thing that I have. So if I just put this here, you can see how it's copying the colors. Here, let me bring the camera a little closer so you can actually see. So we've got can manually change it to blank. Responds very quickly, and that's exactly what I want. I want this to be able to run continually. And in addition to working with active sources like that, I can enable the light if I pull this little pin here. And now I can just set objects on top of it. So, like, that's a green lid. This is a hot pink controller. Blue plug, and it works really fast, and it's very, very quick, accurate, and way easier than what I've done in the past. And that's what I'm going to go with for both hands. Also, while all that's going on, if you look here at the screen, you can see it. Let's see here. We've got the accelerometer values, the gyroscope values, packet statistics, temperature statistics. Everything is being reported back and logged to the coprocessor, which will keep flowing upstream to the main processor and eventually be hopefully reported and recorded on the website.